And the score remains Everton 0, Newcastle 0. And Dye goes down there, 20 yards from the Newcastle goal. He thought he was caught. Referee says no, and there's a breakaway here for Newcastle. It's going to be Gordon that leads the charge down the right hand side. Steps away from Young. Can he find a cross in? He does. Dink to the far post. Joelinton will keep that alive. Tonali block back for Joelinton. Can he find a pass? Pickford screaming for an offside there. Nothing doing from the officials. Everton just scramble it away up to the halfway line. And eventually the whistle does go. Jordan Pickford furious about that. We've seen quite a few of these in the game so far of delayed offside calls. A chance here for Everton to make some ground down the right hand side. Harrison feeds in and Dye trying a little cheeky back heel there, but it doesn't come off. Newcastle can get back in position and clear away. Tempo really stepping up a gear from an Everton perspective. They were looking to dig in and get over the line before the half-time whistle. They look refreshed in the opening minutes of the second half. It's going to be a throw-in over on that far side. Dominic Calvert-Lewin just battling away with Kieran Trippier. Ashley Young takes it quickly, just goes backwards to Mangala, who'll come back towards the halfway line with James Tarkowski. Can of course update you if you're staying with us here this evening on Flash Score that we've got one more live audio coverage this evening, 8 PM UK kickoff between Real Madrid and Villarreal, second against third in La Liga, to wrap up your Saturday night. Newcastle try and storm forward here down the left. Lewis Hall's got Harvey Barnes advancing beyond him, but there's a bit too much on that pass, and Everton will get numbers back. Garner and Harrison. Eventually throw-in goes against Harvey Barnes. Really good defensive work there. 3 Everton players herring back in there to help out. The longer this game goes on with no goal, one chance, one mistake could prove absolutely crucial. Pickford just goes route one with that loose ball on the edge of his box, smashes it across field, and Kieran Trippier will see it out of play over at right back for Newcastle. There, just asking the referee to give him a moment. He looked as if he tweaked something with that clearance, but he's okay now. Newcastle get us back underway. Lewis Hall will fire that one down the left hand side, and Joelinton will give chase, and he's got the better of Mangala here. Tried the cut back to Gordon inside the box, but Tarkowski gets there first. Corner to Newcastle. Such a willing runner, Joelinton. Too powerful for Mangala there, on into the 6-yard box, but really good positioning from Tarkowski to get across and get a foot in. There's a bit of a joke there between Mangala and Gilmore Rice in the aftermath. Joelinton put the afterburners on there to get away from the Everton man, and he's grateful that his captain stepped in. Corner to be taken off this left hand side from Trippier, hangs it into the far post. Pickford comes, and he gets half a hand on that one, and it will bounce out for a corner. Such a good fortune there from Pickford, because he came and didn't get a clean connection. I think in fact the assistant referee has changed his mind and gone for a goal kick. Joelinton went up for the header. He claimed that Pickford touched it last. Pickford claims the opposite, and it is a goal kick to Everton. Loose ball just played across the Everton penalty area there, and Ashley Young almost played himself into trouble. Tonali not able to take advantage, and he loses out to Mangala. Space for Ndiaye to run into now with Kieran Trippier caught up field, but Gimel Rice steams across there to cover at right back for Newcastle. Good work from the Brazilian. The Magpies will now switch it to the left hand side, try and give themselves something to break for. Lewis Hall just swirls that cross in, but it's over the bar. Tried to take it early, the Newcastle left back. He had space to go into behind Garner. Obviously be interesting what the possible changes could be as we move into the final half an hour here. Both managers resisting temptation at the break, but if this continues as it is, I might look for a bit of attacking thrust off the bench. Beto and Lindstrom the likely options for Everton. Newcastle, as Dwight McNeil just drags that one well wide of the post from about 25-30 yards. He fancied his chances, and on the back of last weekend with a couple of crackers, who could blame him, but it was never in danger of troubling Nick Pope. Osula, Almiron would be the likely candidates for Newcastle. Pickford clears up towards the halfway line. Good wing there from Young against Jacob Murphy. Michael Keane will pick up the loose ball on the centre circle. Mangala back to Young at left back for Everton. No Branthwaite on the bench for Everton this evening. Sean Dyche opting to rest and rotate. He's only just back in the team, the towering centre back. Groin surgery over the summer meant that he wasn't fit enough to start, and he only played his first Premier League game last weekend against Crystal Palace, so good sensible work from Sean Dyche to protect him. Hasn't been called up for England duty for the incoming Nations League games, but Sean Dyche will be hoping to use the break to get some extra rest into him. Harvey Barnes tangling and tussling here, does eventually win a free kick just inside his own half of the field. The Newcastle left winger. And Everton are preparing a change. Get an update on that in a moment. Sean Dyche deep in conversation with his coaching staff. It looks as if it's going to be Idrissa Gana Gueye. He's prepared for the final 30. Here's Gordon, does well to step away from James Garner, can't find the return ball, but Gimel Rice will pick it up, and Gimel Rice will curl that one. A rushed effort from the Brazilian. Him and Gordon rather got in each other's way on the edge of the Everton penalty area. Twinkle toes here from Gordon as the switch came to him on the Newcastle left hand side. James Garner was isolated, couldn't commit himself. Gordon went for the 1-2 with Joe Linton, but it was overhit the return, and Gimel Rice took over on the edge of the box. Pickford happy to just wave that one over the crossbar into the stands behind him. And we are going to see this change made, and it is going to be Gueye who comes on to replace Mangala. Straight swap in the Everton midfield. Mangala was caught out by Joe Linton just a few moments ago as he burst past him en route into the Everton penalty area, so maybe Sean Dyche just looking to ensure that level of work rate doesn't drop in his engine room. Pickford goes long with the goal kick. Calvert-Lewin climbing with Dan Burn, but it's Burn who wins out up to the halfway line, but Tarkowski will try and fizz that back in, headed away by Lewis Hall. A bit of pinball there as Everton pick back up possession on the edge of the centre circle in their half. First touch for Gueye, alongside Doucouré in that Everton midfield. Garner, James that is, can win the throw in from Anthony Gordon. Right on the halfway line, the Everton right back. Standing in today, of course, Ashley Young started there last weekend. He's over on the left tonight. Seamus Coleman, Nathan Patterson, both still injured. He's been a real utility player for Sean Dyche over the last 12 months, the former Manchester United player. Covers in midfield, full back whenever he's needed. He's put in a good shift so far, and that battle with Harvey Barnes has been a key feature. Good twist there from Iliman Ndiaye on the halfway line. Manages to rag himself away from Kieran Trippier. Needs support though on that far left touchline. Gets it from Calvert-Lewin, and that is poor from Everton's number 9. Ndiaye deserved better there. He did all the hard yard, just needed a little wall pass on the touchline from Calvert-Lewin. Newcastle can build away themselves down this left-hand side. Gordon gallops over the halfway line, wants to get one-on-one with Garner. Harrison will jog across to lend a hand. Newcastle try the right-hand side this time. Murphy pinned to the touchline on the far right-hand side, level with the penalty area. Tonali against Garner Gay. Keane will get it away inside the Everton penalty area. Kieran Trippier though keeps the pressure up for Newcastle. Another tussle again between Garner and Gordon. There's been a bit of a tweak in the last few minutes from Newcastle. Anthony Gordon's come over to this near left hand side. Barnes has moved centrally. Eddie Howe just trying something different to try and force a way through for Newcastle. Here's Ndiaye with space to attack down the left hand side. Just hangs that cross in, and Harrison will work hard and keep it alive by the corner flag. Now Doucouré rolls it to the edge of the area. Garner Gay just thrashes that one into the stands behind Nick Pope's goal. Eddie Howe has just given the shout to a few of his substitutes to come in. Might be seeing a bit of a reshuffle for the Magpies in the next few minutes. As Lewis Hall just fizzes that one up to the halfway line. Joe Linton will knock it down for Guimaraes. Good work there from the 3 Newcastle midfielders. Tonali lends a hand, and that's almost a lovely spread. It's Kieran Trippier bomb forward from right back, but it skid out of play for a throw into Everton in their left back zone, just inside the host half of the field. Eventually Pickford once more will go long with the clearance. Trippier gets there before Calvert-Lewin on the halfway line. We are going to see that Newcastle change now as we go beyond the 60-minute mark. Guimaraes gives away a cheap free kick on the halfway line, and Jordan Pickford fancies a wander. It could be Miguel Almiron to come on for Newcastle, but he's going to have to wait for this free kick to be taken. Pickford again, 5 yards inside his own half of the field on that left-hand side. Pretty much everybody in Everton blue piled forward for this one. Pickford will loft it in towards Tarkowski, but it'll just bounce through for a throw-in. Tarkowski and Keane well marshalled there, but Pickford sticks his hand up in apology. Wasn't the best ball from the England number 1. There is the change for Newcastle. Barnes off, Almiron on. relatively straightforward swap. Almiron can play either side of front three. Looks as if he's going to start on the right, with Anthony Gordon through the middle. Jacob Murphy has now shuffled over to the left for the time being. We'll keep an eye on that as it develops. The wasteful ball forward from defence, just clean into the gloves of Jordan Pickford, and become increasingly scrappy since the start of the second half of this game. Newcastle's fluidity has dropped off, and that sporadic threat that Everton did carry just not really standing them in good stead in the second period, but still plenty of time. Gordon tries to wriggle away from a couple of tackles just inside the Everton half of the field. Does well to keep possession. Lewis Hall now backs him up, finds Jacob Murphy, who's moved over to this left-hand side. Everton eventually force Newcastle back. Byrne, Gimel right, Joe Linton inside the centre circle for the visitors. Again, the big spread over to Trippier, who's pushed forward from right back. And Dye will keep him out there for now, though. Trippier will get support here from Tonali. Chance for Trippier to cross, but he's quickly closed down again by Ndiaye. Poor pass there from Tonali. Gay will clip it up to the halfway line, but Byrne rises above Calvert-Lewin.